Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So, this episode, well, is going to be a doozy because in it I'm going to be talking about, in my opinion, every single commander, that's right, every single commander out there that can possibly handle a 99 land strategy. That means just the commander and just 99 lands. And yeah, that is quite the specific kind of a commander thing. But yeah, I literally went through, I don't even know, I think it was like 1,600 commanders out there essentially. Now, I'm not talking about, partner combinations and whatnot, or, backgrounds and whatnot. Those combinations, that'd be absurd. But I'm talking about, I went through every single one, and I know that the very first thing that's going to happen is you're going to watch the episode and be like, wait, Mitch, you forgot about this one, and this one, and this one. And that is fantastic, and that is incredible, and yeah, let me know what I missed, because I am but one person who makes many mistakes. Regardless, now, another mistake that I'm making right now is talking too much. Let's jump into it. Now, you might think that I'd be jumping into commanders first. I kind of made it seem like that, and that's yet another mistake I made. But let's talk about some lands first really quick. In a 99 land strategy, yeah, you could just use all basics. And for some commanders, that's, that works actually. But when it comes to lands that can really help you out with a 99 land strategy, I mean, ones that can, hypercharge your mana to get you to, your commander first, to get your commander really quickly. Ones like Crystal Vein, Temple of the False God, and Ancient Tomb can really help you out. Crystal Vein, hey, you can sacrifice it for some extra mana. That's going to be great. I mean, obviously, with a 99 land strategy, you are going to be able to hit all of your land drops, so you can replace that one later. But that nice little boost of mana to get your commander out quickly can be great. Temple of the False God, hey, tap for 2, activate until you have 5 more lands. You can obviously ensure that you're going to hit 5 lands when, again, you're only drawing into lands. Ancient Tomb, yeah, if you've got the money for this one, fantastic for a 99 land strategy. Tap for 2 for 2 damage. Yeah, I mean, you're going to be able to ramp your commander out a lot quicker when you've got lands that can tap for multiple mana. And yeah, these aren't even all of them. Obviously, there are more. But now let's talk about some other lands that can help out in different ways. Now, last year, we also got some really heavy hitters when it comes to lands, like, Besage Who Endures in Ottawara, Soaring City. Also very expensive, but yeah, in a 99 land strategy, if you got the budget for it, these are massive. And there's actually, a cycle of 5, and yeah, of course, all of them can be great, but these especially basically are removal spells just on lands. So yeah, you're starting to get more and more utility when it comes to lands, which obviously can be very good for a 99 land strategy, because you don't have that added flexibility of, being able to use cards to do those kinds of things. Use cards outside of lands, I should say. So yeah, having that utility from lands can be massive. And speaking of which, yeah, certain commanders that I'm going to be bringing up obviously could benefit from something like, Haste from something like a Flamekin Village, or Fear with a Shizu Death Storehouse. Again, decently expensive, but yeah, being able to utilize lands to make your commander more powerful can definitely be something that can really help you out with a 99 land strategy. Again, that additional utility can come in huge. And finally, when it comes to lands, before I blab on anymore, yeah, like a Rogue's Passage, a very great budget card that can help out with a lot of commanders I'm going to be mentioning here in a bit. Make your commander unblockable. Scavenger Grounds, sacrifice a desert, exile cards from all graveyards. Yeah, a great card that can shut down certain strategies that you might be going up against. And again, usually you need an actual, spell for that, essentially, to be able to do that. High Market, tap for a colorless or tap, sacrifice a creature, you gain 1 life. There are certain commanders that you are going to want to be able to sacrifice, or certain times that you want to be able to sacrifice creatures. And yeah, a very famous one that I will bring up first right now. Because Space Baby, Child of Alara, is absolutely a commander that can work with 99 lands. And in fact, yeah, I made an entire episode on this one, and I think it's actually my second most popular episode of all time. So players clearly like, 99 land strategies, apparently. So, Child of Alara, Space Baby. Yeah, sacrifice it, with that, high market, essentially. When it dies, you destroy all non-land permanents that can't be regenerated. A board wipe in the command zone. that can be quite powerful and obnoxious. Cereal for Meter, speaking of which, basically this is a commander that can grow throughout the game whenever permanents opponent controls are put in the graveyard. This gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can also remove counters at your upkeep, remove all the counters essentially, and just get rid of, non-land permanents. But yeah, just a commander that can actually just grow itself or be a board wipe. Quite effective. Speaking of which, Ashling the Pilgrim, pay to put counters on it. If you do the third time in the turn, you are going to remove those counters and deal damage to each creature and each player. You can make this into a Voltron commander. You can make it into a commander that can board wipe. You can make it into a commander that can take players out with damage. Yeah, and it can work with a 99 land strategy. And speaking of massive, heavy-hitting commanders, Omnath Locus of Mana, you can get it down very, very, very early, and because you're only going to be utilizing your mana for this, you can just keep tapping your mana to put in your mana pool and just keep it there. Keep your unspent green mana there because, the more you tap, the bigger this is going to get, and, eventually, sure, Rogue's Passage, one-shot KO. Multani, Yavimai's Avatar. Power is basically going to be equal to the number of lands you control in each land in your graveyard. You can also bring Multani back from your graveyard to your hand by bouncing lands back to your hand, and there might be some, again, utility lands you want to use in that kind of way. And then Greensleeves, yet another Morrow Sorcerer. This one, hey, power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control, so again, every single turn this is just basically going to grow for you because you're guaranteed to hit your land drops. And of course, on top of that, whenever lands enter the battlefield under control, you get a 3/3 Badger. So yeah, you can go tall and wide at the same time. Speaking of tall though, yeah, even mono black can do it with Korlash, Heir to Black Blade. Power and toughness equal to the number of swamps you control. On top of that, you can pay 1 of black to regenerate Korlash. So Korlash can actually be decently difficult to deal with. And again, it's just going to grow and grow and grow throughout the game. One that can be absolutely massive though is Masamaro First to Live. Power and toughness each equal to twice the number of cards in your hand. And yeah, if you've got like a Reliquary Tower, obviously that can be even more than 7, but at the very least, again, you're guaranteed to hit your land drops and guaranteed to keep drawing into lands. It's basically going to be a 14/14. That is a 2-shot KO, again, that you can get through with certain things like Rogue's Passage, etc., etc. Or how about Charx, the Raging Isle, a 0/17 that is hard to actually target with spells, and also by paying 3, you can give it +X, -X, for X the number of islands you control, so this can become a 2-shot KO as well. Next up though, how about Drana, 4/4 flyer that can get pumped quite a bit. X, black, target creature gets -0, -X till end of turn. Basically, make one creature smaller, potentially take them out, and also pump this creature by that much. So again, he at a certain point, easily a 2-shot KO, and one that is evasive as well. Speaking of which, Ishai, Ojutai Dragon Speaker. This one is a partner, so you get another side to it. Regardless, on its own, it can just be a commander that can take players out with lands as well, because whenever an opponent casts a spell, you get a counter on this. Yeah, in Commander, players going to be casting a lot of spells, and also, again, this has flying, so that evasion, then get it through for a 2-shot, or even in some circumstances, a 1-shot KO. Skitherix, Skittles! 4/4 flying. In fact, you can give it haste, you can regenerate, and keep it in play. Yeah, if you've got a way to maybe just get one singular counter on this, and there are plenty of lands that can do that, you are able to then 2-shot players again with Infect. And how about some really funny ones, starting off with Thantis. Hey, every creature has to attack every single combat. Well, that's bad for all of you. Good for me, because whenever a creature attacks me or Planeswalker I control, which I won't control Planeswalkers, I just have this one creature, I get a counter on this commander. So this, again, can easily become a 2-shot, maybe even a 1-shot KO, and your opponents, have to take each other out a lot of the time for you. Kazarov, hey, whenever a creature an opponent controls is dealt damage, let's get a counter on this. This can become absolutely massive throughout the game. You can pay to, ping creatures as well if you need to. And obviously, again, this is a flyer, so it can get through on those opponents. Orca, though, can become insanely large. Whenever the creature dies, you get a counter on Orca. Of course, that counts your opponent's creatures. And then when Orca dies, it deals damage equal to its power divided as you choose among any number of targets. So, yeah, you can swing through with that trample to take players out. Or, you can just say, hey, this is large enough with this high market that I have to sacrifice it and ping you down. Next up, new category, token, Sliver Queen. Yeah, Sliver Queen can be a great 99 lands commander because, hey, let's just make a bunch of slivers. Again and again and again. Sliver Queen is a 7/7 that has pay 2, put a sliver into play. It's a 1/1, and yeah, just keep paying 2. Get into play, pay 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and just keep making a ton of slivers. A massive sliver army. Una, Queen of the Fae. This one is especially good against, monocolored decks. It can work against others as well. 5/5 flyer, pay X in a Dimir. You choose a color. That person is going to then exile cards off the top of your library that you chose. And then for each of those that are the same color that you chose, you get a 1/1 flyer. So you can fill your board with a lot of evasive creatures very quickly. Rip the Awakener can fill your board with an insane amount of creatures very quickly. Whenever deals counter to a player, you can pay 2 and a green if you do. You choose a color, then you get a sapperling for each permanent of that color. And yeah, this can really build on itself a lot throughout the game. Or how about some easy mode with Coma Cosmos Serpent? Yeah, you just kind of need to get this into play, and then it does all the rest for you. A 6/6 that can't be countered, so that can, stop your opponents from trying to stop you right away. And then also, every single upkeep, you get a 3/3. Every single upkeep, that's 12 power across 4 bodies. Every single trip around the table. Can also sacrifice those creatures to, tap permanents down or make your commander indestructible. Beldus Witherbloom, a commander that can help you out in multiple ways. First up, hey, every single upkeep again, you're getting a token, a 1/1, and when it dies, you gain a life. Also, you can pay 10 life to untap your lands, and yeah, there are certain utility lands that you really want to utilize with this. Toxicroak Corrosive. Do you like slugs? Who doesn't? You are going to be able to take out all of your opponent's creatures again and again and again by getting slime counters on them. They're going to shrink based on the number of slime counters on them. When they're taken out, you get slugs, and you can sacrifice those slugs to draw if you really, really want to. Moving on, your opponents can actually help you out as well with Kalitas, Trader of Get. Hey, if a non-token creature opponent controls would die, instead, that's going to go bye-bye, and we get a 2/2. Creatures die all the time in games of Commander. You're going to get a lot of 2/2s throughout the game, and yeah, sure, if you really want to make this Commander bigger, you can. You can sacrifice some vampires to actually do that. I mean, zombies. You know what I mean? Namada, Primeval Warden. Kind of along the same lines. Hey, when your opponent's creatures die, you actually get to exile it and make a sapling. Now, this one might be, a smaller creature, a 1/1, but it does count any creatures, including tokens, so keep that in mind. And Daring King of Keldor, yeah, even in mono white, you can do this as well. Whenever you deal damage, you create that many 1/1 soldiers. Hey, opponents, bring it. Swing at me. See what happens. Get a massive army in absolutely no time. You might even be able to make a deal with another player to be like, hey, I'll let you through on me. I see that lifelink creature you got. You want to gain some life? Come on, bring it. Bring it. I'll get some tokens. Moving on, your lands can even help you out when it comes to making tokens. And yeah, again, you've got 99 lands in the deck, so you are guaranteed to hit them and hit your land drops. And of course, our lands and get other lands. Regardless, Titania, Nature's Force. Hey, play forest from your graveyard. That's great. Whenever a forest enters battlefield under your control, you get a 5/3 elemental. And whenever that elemental dies, you mill 3, so you can hit even more forest. Lovely. Omnath, Locus of Rage. Land comes into play. You get a 5/5. Absurd. And even on top of that, hey, whenever this commander or one of your elementals dies, you ping something for 3, Lightning Bolt on top of that. Phylath, World Sculptor, somewhat similar. Enters battlefield, you get a 0/1 plant for every single basic land you control. Yeah, this is one of those commanders you're like, yeah, I'm just running all basics. And then whenever a land enters battlefield you control, you get 4 counters on target plant you control, so you can make your plants into massive creatures. Now, finally, when it comes to tokens, Kranko, my boss, can be huge for 99 land strategy. Because, yeah, hey, tap, make X goblins based on the number of goblins you have, which will double every single turn. You just basically go, okay, I'll make 1, then I'll make 2, then 4, then 8, then 16, 32, 64, math, 128. I'm not going to keep going. I'm going to get embarrassed if I mess up. Anyways, Jolriel, Empress of Beasts, not tokens, but hey, you know those lands you've been playing, every single turn because you have only lands in this deck? Now we're just going to turn those into creatures. Pay 2 and a green, tap, discard 2 cards. Hey, all my lands are 3/3 creatures. Thank you. Or actually, on the other side, you can choose an opponent for this. So if someone is, not paying attention enough and they try to cast, say, a Wrath of God, and you're like, well, I don't like that. So I'm turning your lands into creatures, and they are gone now. And you are out of the game. Bye-bye now. Now, of course, your opponents can actually help you win the game with commanders like, Atali Primal Storm, Gyruda Doom of Depths, and the Scarab God. Atali Primal Storm, hey, when I attack, let's just all exile the top card of our library, and then we can cast any number of them for free! So I might just hit some absolutely massive things off the top of my opponent's libraries and beat them with their own cards, and who doesn't love to do that? Gyruda Doom of the Depths. This actually is a companion, so technically this one could kind of help you win just as a companion to the 99 as well for certain decks. Regardless, as a commander, hey, I can just keep casting this again and again and again from a command zone and utilizing its ETB trigger. Hey, everyone, mill 4, I'm going to get a creature with an even converted mana cost among them on the battlefield under my control. A lot of powerful creatures out there with some very powerful effects, very powerful abilities that have even converted mana costs. Thank you, opponents, for lending me them. The Scarab God, speaking of which, yeah, I can drain players based on zombies, but I also, more importantly, can exile creature cards from graveyards for just 4 mana in total, very cheap, to make a zombie copy of it, a 4/4 zombie. And again, yeah, you can really utilize your opponent's creatures in a very, very effective way with this. And you can utilize your opponent's entire deck in a very effective way with Send Triplets. At the beginning of your upkeep, you choose a player. You're basically locking that player out of the game, which is lovely for that turn. And you can play lands and cast spells from their hand that turn. So you're like, hey, what's yours is mine now, right? And yeah, that is a pretty brutal but effective way to win. Xanathar Guild Kingpin. Somewhat similar, but I'd say a little nicer-ish. At the beginning of your upkeep, you choose an opponent. You basically, again, shut them out a little bit, but also you can look at the top card of the library, and you can cast it with mana, whatever kind of mana you want. Arvinox the Mind Flail. This one, well, is a 9/9, so it can be an absolutely huge monster to take out your opponents with when it is a creature. Now, that's only a creature if it's actually, you have 3 or more permanents that can come in handy earlier, can be effective later. And yeah, by stealing your opponent's things off the bottom of their library, actually, in this case, you can get some really, really spicy things to help you win the game. And anything can be a spicy thing to steal with Memnarch because, well, Memnarch can make permanents into artifacts, and you can gain control of artifacts with it. So basically, everything on the board is your plaything that you can just steal, essentially. Empress Galena, hey, just pay 2 mana, blue, tap, gain control of a legendary permanent. Yeah, this is Commander. There are plenty of legendary things going on, including commanders. So yeah, take your opponent's commanders and beat them with them. Rick Barrett, also a very easy way to steal creatures. Tap, gain control of a creature. Cool. Awesome. Goodbye. And in a very similar way, there's the Soul Singer. Hey, let's tap and gain control of a creature for as long as it remains tapped, and we can choose to untap when we need to. So if something better comes in play, we're gonna be like, okay, it's my untap step. Yep, I'm gonna untap and take that better creature. Athreos, Shroudveiled, though, can just get a lot of creatures because, well, at the beginning of your end step, you get a coin counter on a creature, and when that creature dies or is put in exile, you get it back under your control. So you can build up a lot of coin counters out there, get a lot of creatures, especially when a board wipe happens. Really exciting things. Talriel, Reckoner of Souls, absolutely wrecks games. Tap, choose a creature card at random from one's graveyard, put that card on the battlefield under your control. This is one where it's like, oh, you got a bunch of juicy things in your graveyard? Great, I will just start taking them. They are mine now, and now I'm going to beat you with your own creatures. Next up, how about Chainer Dementia Master? Black, pay 3 life. Yeah, that's well worth this effect. Let's go get any creature from any graveyard into play under my control. Yeah, as long as Chainer stays in play, it's going to pump those creatures. Now, when Chainer does leave play, they leave, but that's okay. We're just going to go take more creatures next time. Again, we are just going to play land after land after land and steal creatures. Taneb the Harvester. Hey, a 6/6 flyer when it hits another player. We can pay 2 and a black if we do. Let's reanimate any creature. Yeah, it doesn't have to be one of theirs. It can be another opponent's creature if we want to. Geflor of the Vault. Let's pay X and a black. Steal an artifact or a creature from an opponent's graveyard and also mill that player so we can then, set ourselves up for more things to steal. Or we can just steal a lot of things at once with Gix, Yogg, Moth, Praetor. Hey, pay 7 mana, essentially discard our entire hand, then start exiling things off the top of the opponent's library, and then we can just play lands and cast spells from among them. Basically, hey, do you like Villainous Wealth? Great. Here's a commander that lets you just Villainous Wealth. So do that. Have fun. Steal a lot of things. Win with your opponent's cards. And when it comes to winning with your opponent's things, how about Cardor Doomscourge? That name is hard to say. Regardless, enters the battlefield. Let's go to every single creature opponents control. And, yeah, have fun attacking each other. And also, When those attacking creatures die, we drain opponents and we gain life. What's not to love about that? Again, yeah, we're going to be high marketing this as much as we can, so we can just keep doing this again and again and again, and ensuring that our opponents are going to be taking each other out. Borborygmos enraged. Speaking of taking players out, 7-6 with trample, so yeah, being able to get through with commander damage can be great with this. On top of that, we get 3 lands off the top of our library every single time into our hand, and by discarding lands, we lightning bolt creatures or players. Literally, just getting this into play, we've got 21 damage in our hand to dish out, because again, we are going to be drawing, you guessed it, just lands. Speaking of dishing out pain though, Rorikthar the Unbowed, 6/6 Vigilance Reach, tax each combat of Fable, that's lovely. What's important though is whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, we're going to be dealing 6 damage to that player. Here's the thing. We're never going to be casting any non-creature spells because we don't have any. In fact, we don't have any spells. Our opponents might not be so lucky. And yeah, that Storm player over there is not going to be too happy when they're taken out by this massive Ogre Warrior. And yeah, what a fun time. And speaking of fun, finally, how about Marlon the Morn Song? Hey, everyone, we can't draw cards. Okay, let's agree to that. But instead, on our draw step, we are each going to lose 3 life and go search our library for any card put right into our hand. Okay, cool. You got the cards that you're going to pick? Well, I'm just going to over 2 turns go get, maybe Dark Depths and Thespian Stage or something, and I'll take you out with, yeah, just a 2020 flying indestructible avatar named Merit Lage. Have fun! Now, I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, but I forgot. Now here we are, and it's at the end. But yeah, I mean, some of you out there might be asking, why in the world would you want to build a 99 lands deck? And the answer to that is, well, why not? It's quite fun. And yes, I understand that it's definitely not the most powerful version of a deck, obviously, with that kind of a restriction. But still, it's an interesting restriction. It's one that makes for some interesting builds. It's one that can lead to some very funny moments. And yeah, it's just an overall interesting challenge that I think a lot of people out there could enjoy. And again, there are plenty of options for commanders out there that you can actually utilize with a 99 land strategy. And things these days, again, are getting easier and easier in order to utilize these cards because we are getting more and more utility lands that can help us out with this kind of a strategy. So yeah, make sure you consider one of these awesome commanders for a 99 land strategy. And with that, the show is coming to a close, so now it's my turn to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. And yeah, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.